Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. It's episode 4 of the Brawl for All Pro Wrestling Show, and I'm your host, Jeff Jaros, as always, and I'm back here with Jeff Crow once again. What's up, man?
Not a whole lot.
Not a...
Play the game.
Yep, time to play the game, as Triple H would say. Not a whole lot going on this week. Raw was, it was okay to go over. Better than it has been in previous weeks, in my opinion.
Right.
I think the appearance by Rock really helped. I think Ambrose is kind of helping a little bit as just...
Yeah. Pretty good spot where Rollins jumped off, ran the crowd, and he was standing right behind him.
Yeah. Yeah, that was the opening segment of Raw, as we're going to get into Raw here, reviewing that, too. So, did you know Raw dropped 6% in the ratings this week? It went from a 2.83 to a 2.63. So, it's the lowest since May 26th and the third lowest of 2014.
Wow.
But the numbers did increase through the night, though, so that was a little bit of a positive sign. But
probably people wasn't really expecting The Rock to be there.
I seriously doubt that anybody expected him to be there. We had an inkling because you found out during the night, you seen it online, that he was in New York City, so we had a feeling that he was going to show up.
Right. Well, not positive, but...
Yeah, we weren't absolutely positive.
If he was in New York, it was most likely he was going to show up some way.
And let me mention something. I talked to Stephen Lane tonight, who's actually kind of conspicuous by his absence because he's actually on the show logo that I have when the show's running. And I just wanted to shout out that he has 2 jobs right now. And when we started the show, he didn't have 2 jobs, and he thought he was going to be able to get on schedule, but it's been really hard for him to. But he wants to get on a show like immediately. But I just want to thank Jeff for getting on here and doing it, because he was kind of a last-minute replacement that pretty much has become full-time right now. So I want to thank you because you've done a good job for us, too, and he wanted to tell you that you do a good job. So I wanted to shout him out while we were on here.
Appreciate it. Tell him thanks.
Yep, no problem, man.
On here.
Yeah, we got to get him on here.
Yeah.
I hope he can get on here soon because he's pretty good at it. So, Jeff, I've known him for, a long time, been a long-time friend, so he was easy to get into it, so
Yeah.
I'm glad we got him in, but...
We talked plenty about it anyway, so.
Yeah, we talk enough about it anyway that we could just get on here and start talking about it, but where were we at before that?
We'll start off with Raw.
Okay, we're going to start off. Oh, yeah, Seth Rollins came out and claimed that no one embarrasses him and stuff. And then Mercury and Noble came out and asked him to leave. What else happened? Didn't John Cena come rushing the ring right away?
Yeah, because he wouldn't leave.
So he taunted him from the crowd until he... Oh, yeah, he jumped out of the ring, ran away, and then he taunted Cena from the crowd until he realized that Dean Ambrose was standing right next to him, right?
Right.
So Ambrose was beating the hell out of him. They ran back towards the ring. Cena grabbed him and pulled him over the barricade. They kind of were double teaming on him a little bit.
Yeah.
And then, somehow Ambrose broke away, and then he dived on him before they got separated. So
that was a sweet dive off the barricade.
Who did he dive onto? Was it Cena and...
Yeah, it was both of them.
Cena and Rollins?
Flying out of nowhere off that barricade.
Right. So he ran backstage. The Authority made their way out to the ring. Triple H says they know they both want a piece of Seth Rollins and that they are all about the opportunity, but they play to the crowd before announcing Cena and Ambrose will face Rollins, Kane, and Orton in a handicap match.
Yep.
So
that was pretty much knew that was coming.
So did Ambrose end up getting something happening to him to get him out of the match at the end, or am I thinking of a week before?
No, let's see, what happened was Cena or Ambrose left Cena out there.
Okay.
Last week, and then this week Cena acted like he was just going to basically leave Ambrose out there by himself. So that's kind of what happened there.
So then it was a pretty good segment to start it off with, better than they've had in the weeks past.
Oh, yeah.
The only thing I don't like, and I wanted to say, is that I just don't feel like Rollins is like the caliber of Cena to be able to be in a feud with him right now.
No, he still
Yeah, like Cena needs a better opponent.
Right. He's coming off, Brock Lesnar.
It's kind of weird to say that, Bray Wyatt seemed like a more admirable opponent than Rollins does.
Yeah, definitely.
Like a more deserving opponent. Rollins just don't seem like he's a deserving opponent for that spot. Ambrose really don't fit in either, but with his personality and stuff lately, he's been more believable to be up there.
Right. They just been getting in more wrestling during Raw and be able to show what he can do.
But like we talked before, that Rollins has in-ring ability.
Oh, yeah.
It's just the personality that he's lacking.
Yeah, I think they're mainly working on it.
And it just don't seem right with a feud with him and Cena when he has no personality, in my opinion.
No. He needs better mic skills to go against Cena.
I thought the whole Ambrose standing in the crowd was pretty good, Stone Cold type stuff.
Yeah.
Attitude Era-esque, I guess they're calling it.
Yeah. It looks like they're kind of leaning towards that a little bit.
Yeah, I think so too. So, we went on to the first match, which was Ziggler and the Usos against Cesaro and Golden Stardust, which, once again, I thought it was, the best match on the card.
Yeah.
Because any match that Cesaro's in is a good match, and Ziggler against him was really good.
Yeah, and that's what I was just thinking when I was looking. I was like, yeah, that was definitely the best match.
It was. Don't you think that Cesaro should be more deserving of an IC title feud over Miz?
Yeah, I don't know.
And let Rusev go the U.S. title route.
Right. And you were saying, Rusev and then Cesaro feud, which would be huge.
Oh, that would be really good. Rusev and Cesaro. And that would be a good time to unify the titles.
Right.
So. But I don't know how you could play that in to a United States angle.
Yeah.
It'd be kind of hard. It'd be kind of hard. But you could do it.
Yeah, I mean, it can be good.
So, that match was pretty good, so I guess we'll go on to the next one.
Anytime you get Stardust and Goldust.
I think they're pretty damn entertaining as champions.
Yeah.
I don't think they should take the belts from them anytime soon. I don't see anybody really worthy of it.
No.
Unless they just want to hot cake the titles like they did back in the Attitude Era, which I don't see them doing.
Yeah, I think they're just trying to build the tag team division up more again.
I agree. I think they really need to bring the Ascension in and stuff like that, so... Especially if they aren't going to tag Harper and Rowan again. Because I thought they would have made good champions.
Yeah, they would have, but looks like they got other plans, which...
Yeah, and let's just talk about that while we're at it, that they had the Harper promo. I mean, not the Harper, but the Rowan promo this week.
Oh, yeah, they showed both of them.
So what do you think? In a solo run, or are they going to keep tagging, or break up, or what?
I think they're basically stay together, but they're just going to kind of be singles wrestlers.
Yeah.
Like we were talking about, kind of like the Brood.
Right.
We're breaking off a little bit.
The next segment was the Kathy Lee Gifford segment coming out, with Hoda. What is it? Hoda Kotb?
Yeah.
Okay, I don't know her, but they came out. They had the whole Adam Rose angle. It was pretty awful.
Yeah, it was terrible.
Not much to talk about there. It was pretty bad, in my opinion. So we could probably just
promote the breast cancer awareness thing and all that.
I mean, I do think Adam Rose is pretty funny and he can be entertaining, but they used him pretty stupid lately. Like on the SmackDown 15 show, they used him pretty bad.
Yeah, that was not good.
We'll discuss that in a second, though. But Mark Henry and Bo Dallas, what'd you think of this match? Bo won by count out.
Pointless, but I don't know where they're going with that.
He almost delivered the world's strongest slam onto the commentary table, but Bo floated over and ran out to beat the count. And Bo won by count out.
Yeah.
You think this is going to be an ongoing feud here?
That's what I'm wondering, if they're just going to keep it going.
Keep Bo playing the underdog angle or something like that? It's a bad feud. This is part of the horrible booking going on right now, in my opinion.
Right, to put them two together, I mean, and then have Bo Dallas keep winning, you know, like count out or something like that. It's just, I don't think it's working real well.
No, I just don't see the direction for Bo Dallas's character.
No, I mean, yeah, what Henry, you know, gonna do during the feud and then after the feud. Right.
Nothing.
No, unless they're playing some angle where, you know, he's gonna be a motivational speaker and get Henry on his side, something, I don't know.
Motivate Henry.
Yeah.
He'll beat him so many times that he becomes Henry's motivator. That'd be kind of funny.
Yeah.
Never thought about it, but that would be kind of funny.
Motivational speaker. Tony Robbins.
Yeah, that'd be great. They need to have Bo in more of a motivational speaker type role, like playing it to the max.
Yeah.
Instead of just telling people to Bo leave, get some more slogans and catchphrases. Don't just keep him to the one catchphrase that he has, Bo leave, and that's it.
Yeah.
Mark Henry, though, don't you think it's about time for him to just hang it up?
Yeah, I think he is planning on soon.
He has long layoffs and then comes back, and you're all excited to see him, and then he just lets you down pretty much.
Yeah, so I don't know if he's even got a run left in him.
I wouldn't mind seeing him go.
Yeah, unless they're planning on retirement match.
He's had a hell of a run. I mean, come on.
Unless he's gonna, you know.
But who really is going to buy into WrestleMania for a Mark Henry retirement match?
Yeah, and I don't know if they'll go that far.
It's funny because, you know, after all the years he's wrestled, I still could probably mention his name to people and they'd be like, who's that?
Yeah, because he's either injured or they don't use him well.
He's never been used good.
Who knows what's going to happen with that?
I mean, from sexual chocolate to... I mean, they've used him the best towards the end of his career.
Right.
The way he should have been used all along. I don't know. So, going on, Dean Ambrose, he came out and said John Cena is getting into his business and he didn't like it. He played the clip of Cena abandoning him on SmackDown. Warned Cena not to give him a reason to dislike him, but then he comes out, Cena does, and said that Ambrose would have done the same to him. So, what do you think of all that? Ambrose, you know, said that he's glad that it's in the open and that they could either coexist or could drop Cena right now and take the authority on himself.
Yeah, I don't know what they're
Cena reminded Ambrose on getting put through the cinder blocks and that he had guts, but he's giving him a reason not to like him. Ambrose said he was hungry and he might hop on a train to Coney Island and get a hot dog and then ride the Cyclone and tell Cena good luck and leaves.
Yeah.
And it showed Ambrose getting onto the train, and they cut to Triple H taunting Cena and said Ambrose should be happy and honored to main event Raw. And then he said Cena will get his hands on Raw later in the night, and that Cena knows what Triple H is doing. Triple H says that he's making Rollins start the match tonight. Says Triple H is 3-on-1. It's not going to be fair, but at least he'll get Rollins at the bell, and he should never give up. Mocking his slogan. So that's what happened.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, last week was when Cena left him. So this week was when.
I did think it was funny that he said he was going to hop. He was going to hop on a train to Coney Island and get a hot dog and stuff.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
It didn't come off as forced this week, his funniness, as lately. I think they let him be more of himself funny instead of giving him lines to say.
Yeah.
I mean, those other ones seemed like he was scripted.
No, this is a lot better.
I think they did script it out, though, the weeks before.
Yeah, you could tell it seemed like that was scripted the week before.
Then we have a bunch. Then we can go through all this garbage that we saw. Brie Bella and Summer Rae with Layla.
Oh, boy.
Brie had an arm tied behind her back? This was Nikki paying her back, right?
Yeah, I may have been snoozing during that time.
Brie ended up knocking them into each other and kneed Summer in the face for the win, so Brie still ended up winning the match with one arm tied behind her back. I mean, okay, whoop-de-doo. I didn't care about that match at all.
No, I still think it's the Diva plug deal.
Diva plug. Total Diva plug. Then you go on to Jack Swagger, Tyson Kidd. Tyson Kidd got a Raw match. What's up with this? Is this just a Total Diva plug too?
Yeah, I don't know. I think it could be part of it, unless he's healthy. They want to give him a little push.
Did Swagger win the match, or did Tyson Kidd win the match?
Swagger ended up winning.
With the Patriot Lock, yeah.
Yeah.
So it was a pretty decent match between the two, because Tyson Kidd can wrestle. He just, he's got the same problem as Rollins with the personality factor.
Right.
Can't really find himself where he's at.
Smaller. He was doing decent on NXT. I've seen with some promos, so maybe that's why they brought him up.
He's a hell of a wrestler, though. You got to say that. In that Fatal 4-Way match at TakeOver, he showed that he was a hell of a wrestler.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, they got to deal with him and Natalia, so I think a lot of a diva plug again, but I think they are wanting to bring him up.
Right.
See what he can do.
I think they really do. But then also they're on the show, too, so they had to get him in there. They're on the Total Divas together.
Right.
So I think they had to get him in there, too. Roman Reigns joined the show via satellite.
Yes.
He gave an update on his condition and said he's feeling a lot better and said he's getting ready to put his gear back on sooner than later, and that they can believe that, keeping his slow-go going, keeping his face fresh on TV, I guess, why he's injured, which is a smart idea.
Right.
You got to keep him relevant. We did report it last week before Raw that it was going to happen, or possibly going to happen via satellite, and it ended up happening, so I don't think it was a shock to so many people, but this is my argument with Brock Lesnar right now. You got to keep him relevant. You got to have him come via satellite every now and then and let them know who the champion is right now. Let people know what's going on. Are you just going to focus totally on the IC and US titles and forget about the world, or
I don't know.
are they using the Money in the Bank as a world title now? Like, it's kind of weird.
Yeah.
It's almost like an interim title, the Money in the Bank.
Right. And they're like using him as like a UFC fighter, basically, and
right. Just gonna have him make special appearances. Kind of the old school approach. The less you see somebody, the better.
Right.
I've heard JR talk about a lot on that on his podcast. He's for that, but I don't know if I haven't heard if he's for him not showing up till, possibly after the Rumble or.
Yeah, I think he needs to show before that. I mean, if you got the belt, you need to.
So
and there's still the questions of, when Heyman came out.
Right. They got to keep him relevant. They at least got to have Heyman come out on his behalf.
Right.
They can't just not show him or forget about him, in my opinion, for that long.
And what's going to happen with the deal with him and Rollins? Had a problem with him doing that.
Right.
Curb stomping, trying to get the belt. So.
I didn't like that whole deal where they had him make Brock look weak with that curb stomp. I can't believe he let him do that, but.
No, but then they kind of. He got up from it. JBL kind of saved that a little bit by saying nobody's ever got it from the curb stomp like that.
Okay, so I didn't ever catch that part.
Yeah, so he kind of saved that right there.
Yeah, he didn't look as weak with him saying that, so they probably were yelling that into JBL's. Say that nobody's gotten up from the curb stomp.
He's superhuman.
Make him sound like he's Superman. He's yelling in his microphone. God damn it. So, anyway, it was good to have Roman Reigns smart book and to have his face on there, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Next, we had El Torito with the Los Matadors against Hornswoggle with Slater Gator. That's a channel flipper, in my opinion.
Yeah.
We've seen numerous matches between the two.
Yeah, it's getting...
It's like if you're wanting to have a midget division, get some different guys.
I know.
I'm not interested in seeing El Torito and Hornswoggle wrestle. Because I'm not even interested in seeing Los Matadores or Slater Gator because I don't even like their tag teams.
No, neither one of them. I mean, El Matadors can wrestle, but they have no personality, really.
No, and we all know that's Carlos Colon's kids. One of them's Primo, and I think the other one's, Eddie or something? Colon?
Is it Epico? No.
It's Primo and Epico.
Yeah, it's Primo would have to
But that's Carlito's brothers under the mask,
Yeah.
if anybody didn't already know. Fernando and Diego. What a joke.
Yeah, they could use them in another way.
Yeah, I hated the El Matador, let alone Los Matadores.
Yeah, I didn't even care for it when it first brought him in. It was just,
No, and the bull was stupid from the get-go.
yeah.
I think they did think that he was going to be another Hornswoggle, and it just didn't work out.
No, people just aren't interested in that. Like,
Not something like that that far-fetched.
no.
The next segment was the whole Lana, Rusev, and Rock confrontation.
Yeah.
What did you think of this whole deal? I really liked it.
Yeah, it was good. Because, we thought The Rock would show up. Most people probably didn't even know. And then, that was perfect timing.
I don't think a lot of people knew Rock was coming, but we did know about an hour before the show that before he at least showed up that he was going to be there, but it wasn't. If you had been there live, maybe we wouldn't have known.
Right.
They kept it pretty hush.
Yeah.
It was a pretty good shocker for the crowd, I think, and really was a good spot. Rock had some funny parts.
Yeah, crowd blew up for that.
Do you remember any of the jokes that Rock threw down?
Yeah.
Can you,
Chewbacca's hairy, sweaty beanbagger.
Chewbacca's sweaty beanbags. Shove the Smirnoff bottle up your Putin.
Yeah.
What else did he say?
Like a Russian street hooker.
Yeah, wearing his shorts around his nipples.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah, it was a really good segment. Rock was right on.
He's always right on it.
Yeah, it was awesome. They actually had him punch him out of the ring too at the end, Rusev. If you didn't see it, he hit him about 3 times and Rusev left the ropes. But apparently they told him backstage, Rock, not to hit him with like a rock bottom or a people's elbow or anything, so they kept it kind of like where they didn't want to really hurt his image any worse than they had to.
Right. He got up all pissed off.
Yeah, good segment though. And I think Rusev really got a good rub right there from The Rock.
Yeah, he did.
Rock doesn't just come back and do that with anybody.
Yeah. I mean, because Rusev has no mic skills and Rock still made it really good.
I think Rock sees something in Rusev, though, maybe as a good villain, so tried to give him a good rub there. Which I would say Rusev's doing a great job, and Lana's a good mouthpiece for him, so that whole gimmick's working out good.
Definitely. You can do a lot of things with that.
Well, anything else to say about that whole deal?
No, not really.
It was pretty epic Raw moment, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Caught people off guard. Good timing for doing it in the middle of the card, kind of, or halfway through.
Yeah.
It was pretty good. So Rock was right on.
Like
he hadn't missed a step. It was like he hadn't missed.
Halftime.
Right. Were they competing with the football there?
I didn't hear anything about that, but
I'm sure they were in some capacity.
yeah.
But he was right on, like he hadn't missed a step. So.
No, he never seems like he does. He's always in shape. Still
always in wrestling shape, it seems like, too.
Yeah.
Like he could just
he was huge.
take the clothes off and go at it anytime. Yeah, he was jacked, so. Made Rusev look pretty small.
Yeah.
Rusev showed that he didn't have much of a mic skill, though.
Right.
Not much of a guy on the stick, so. Going on from that segment, they had Paige and Alicia Fox against AJ and Emma. They're keeping the Paige and AJ feud going, like we said. Paige and Alicia ended up winning after Paige hit Emma with the Rampage for the win. So, do you have much to say about that? Another Diva match. So, what is that, second Divas match or third?
It was the second, I think.
I believe it was the second.
But I still think Paige and AJ, they can put on a good show.
They really need to let them have something different, maybe a women's steel cage match or something like that.
Yeah.
Other than these singles matches they keep pulling out.
Yeah,
A Hell in a Cell match for the women's title would be sweet.
Yeah.
Have they had a women's Hell in the Cell?
That's what I'm wondering. They either have or I heard they're planning on it. Something.
I'm not sure if they have. It'd be nice to see.
Yeah.
So going on from that, The Miz with Damien Mizdow, whatever you want to call him, versus Sheamus. Miz got the win over Sheamus as he rolled him up from behind. That's kind of a big win for him. Keep Miz in the U.S. title picture and let Cesaro stay in the IC, or vice versa.
Yeah.
Sheamus and Cesaro were having good matches. What happened to that whole feud?
I don't know. That's what I was wondering. I mean,
I thought they were going to continue that. Didn't we say that?
yeah, and the way they talked, that's what I thought.
Sheamus was having really good matches with him, and they had a couple six-mans afterwards, but now it seems like they kind of dropped the feud.
Yeah, that's one of them a little banged up. Maybe they want to give them, a little bit of time off.
As much as I hate Miz, he did get a big win there. And Sandow's doing a great job. I think they really need to have him turn on Miz soon.
I think they will.
That'll be his ultimate face move. They're setting him up for a good babyface run if they play it right.
Yeah, I think he's good enough wrestler, and he's gotten good on the mic, so I think that'd be good.
I didn't think it was like a 5-star match or anything, but Miz gets the win.
Nah, yeah.
So I'm not really a big Sheamus fan either. So
No.
not since he had that heel run. I thought he was a
Yeah.
way better heel than he ever has been a babyface. I don't like when they push him babyface. So moving on, it was the main event, the 3-on-1 handicap match, Cena against the Authority. You just knew Ambrose was going to show up in the end.
Yeah, I mean, that was obvious.
Rollins get hit with an attitude adjustment, but Kane and Orton came running in to cause a disqualification. Then Kane chokeslammed Cena. Orton hit an RKO, but Ambrose returned from Coney Island wheeling a hot dog cart down to the ring, which was kind of funny. Ambrose waited for Kane and Orton to come after him, and he revealed he had the condiments holster and sprayed Kane and Orton with ketchup and mustard. He rammed the cart into him, rushed the ring, and attacked Rollins. Cena hit him with an attitude adjustment before Ambrose hit a suicide dive. He whipped the cart at Rollins and let him into the ring. Kane made the save, so Cena took him out with an AA.
It was a decent segment.
Did you like the whole hot dog thing segment? I mean, they're trying to make it Attitude Era-esque with a PG touch.
Right.
If that was Stone Cold, it would have been beer. I mean, or something like that.
They did a good job with that stuff.
The Authority came out that Cena and Ambrose were on the same page, but they still want to fight Seth Rollins, so they'll get a shot. They said they'll face each other for a shot at Rollins at Hell in the Cell, like we mentioned last week was going to be the deal. I don't know if they're going to have the loser face Orton still. I haven't heard that plan be put in place yet.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know if they've dropped that.
About that.
They may drop that and have Orton fight a match with somebody else. I didn't really see the point of a loser facing Orton.
No.
Anyway, so I'm glad they're going to have Ambrose, Cena, and then later on face Rollins. But like I said, it just seems so weak if they're going to have that be the main event.
Yeah, they need to have
That's where they really need Brock.
like Rock or Jericho to come back and have a cage match.
Is that going to be the main event, have you heard?
As far as I've heard, yeah, whoever wins between Cena and Ambrose, they fight. Yeah, I think they fight them the same night, don't they? So yeah, that'll be the main event.
I'd rather see a Lesnar title match, in my opinion, or something else more significant than a shot at facing Rollins. Like, put the Money in the Bank on the line.
I think they may have done that. I'm not sure. I'd have to look that up.
I don't think they've done it yet.
I know they were talking about it. The winner would get the contract. So.
But right before Raw went off the air, Stephanie said that either way one of them was going to go to hell, hinting to Hell in a Cell. And then Ambrose surprised Cena with a double underhook DDT to end the show. That was so Stone Cold-esque, Attitude Era-esque stuff to end it right there. That's going to set up a great Raw for this next week. Cena's going to be all pissed off coming back. That's how they should book it, in my opinion.
Yeah. But if you've seen SmackDown, they played more off of that.
I didn't see it.
Yeah. It was pretty good.
I didn't see the part I didn't watch the part between Cena and Ambrose that they showed on SmackDown. I've seen about halfway through.
Miz TV, they had him on there.
We can go to SmackDown 15 anyway, because that was the end for Raw. But what did you think of SmackDown 15? I saw about halfway through. I saw the segment with Triple H and The Rock, and I thought that was great. Even Stone Cold plugged that on his show as a great segment.
Yeah, that was one of the best spots of the show.
I thought it was going to be much more epic than what they actually ended up doing.
Right.
I would have liked to see a lot more surprise appearances.
That's what I was thinking. They were like kind of, alluding to saying, there was going to be.
I thought Edge and Christian were supposed to be there.
Yeah, that's what I thought too, but all they did was, a little satellite
backstage via satellite segment. Yeah, I missed that too. And I think Triple H and Rock were recorded at Raw.
Yeah.
Yeah, in my opinion.
Yeah, because, he was wearing the same exact thing. Well, actually, I think, didn't they say it was from Raw backstage?
I'm not sure if I wasn't paying that close of attention, so.
Yeah, I think they said it was from Raw backstage from Monday night.
Okay, because you could obviously tell, so.
But
it was a great segment, in my opinion. I think it could lead to
set up the possible match between Rock and Triple H
at Mania 31. But the other, while we're on the topic, going to Mania 31, have you heard about the possible matches set up?
I've heard a few.
Either Rock Triple H or maybe Sting Taker or or Sting versus Triple H.
Yeah.
Lesnar and Reigns.
They're still playing
Cena and Rusev's being rumored for Mania.
Yeah.
Which would be good. He could be he could really step up into the All-American role if he wanted to.
And I also read Wyatt could be in there for match.
Sting, right?
Yeah, I believe it was Cena.
Oh, it was for Cena?
Maybe was it for Cena or?
I thought it was going to be Sting against Wyatt, possibly.
Yeah, it was Sting. That's right.
I'd like to see Taker Wyatt.
And I remember it was like a week or two ago that Bray Wyatt put that little cryptic message.
Right.
About Sting, all the hype was unfounded on that. So that could set something up if Taker can't get there and make it. So.
Yeah.
But they're going to wrestle sometime.
That's why they can't break up the Wyatt family, in my opinion.
No.
But maybe they do want to break up the Wyatt family just for that reason, so they can have a single one-on-one match without having to worry about guys on the outside.
Right. They could still be affiliated with
I don't really see Rowan going anywhere on his own, but I see Harper maybe having a good singles run.
Yeah. But we could be surprised, depending, how it looks in some singles matches.
Oh, but also I must say, while we're on the topic, Rock and Rusev has not been ruled out for Mania 31.
Right. That would be good.
All those matches are sounding interesting. If Angle can sign.
Yeah.
He's reportedly in talks with WWE and TNA at the time. His TNA contract is up.
Right. I heard the WWE isn't really wanting because of his past problems and injuries. So
Yeah, I heard the same thing. His past drug problems and his history and these pictures supposedly going around backstage of him of him passed out on a plane. Yeah. You have any, I have some TNA news. CM Punk once again in the headlines.
Yeah, I heard he was in talks with them.
Right, I've heard
much more.
I've heard TNA say that this was not true, but they supposedly offered Punk a contract with money ranging in what Hogan made. They'd like to use Punk as the face of TNA and would build the entire show around him, they said. And it would be also a major star that could secure him a new TV deal. Punk reportedly not interested, though, in getting back into pro wrestling. So what do you think of this whole deal?
Yeah, it may something he'd want to do where he didn't have to wrestle much, or
I could see him taking a part-time position.
Yeah, and if he's, really not that happy with WWE, he may go ahead and do it. I think it all depends if they can get a TV deal.
Yeah, he would really secure a new deal for him. I think he'd be more of a splash than Angle was coming in.
Yeah, definitely.
Because Angle was more on the downfall of his career, where Punk's still a young guy.
And, they would get all those Punk fans.
Oh, man, it'd be great. I'd like to see it. I'd like to see it for TNA's sake.
And it could be a good, it could be just in the works from everybody, WWE and them saying, go ahead and do it.
Just for their sake.
Yeah, just for their sake.
Oh, you see a possible working relationship here between WWE and TNA.
Yeah, sort of. Not anything, on paper or nothing. But
nothing like ECW.
No, just something to give them, because you always need that competition, or you get stale, and you need something to flip back and forth to watch. Punk would be a perfect person to do that, like I said, to get all those WWE fans that are, obviously Punk fans from the chant.
I totally agree.
And depending on what AJ decides, hell, she could go over there.
Yeah.
And,
because she's reportedly not too happy with their WWE situation sometimes. So.
Right. And that would give, one of you, like Velvet's guys, somebody.
Right. Exactly. So, I've also got a few notes here for TNA. Team 3D's done after Bound for Glory, which happens tonight. It's probably already over by the time we've already spoke tonight.
Yeah, but, actually, it is over. I looked at the results.
Go ahead and name the results if you have them.
Team 3D, they end up coming in, and Bully Ray had a shirt that said, what's the stable AJ's in?
Oh, Bullet Club.
Yeah, he held up a Bullet Club's t-shirt.
Like they're in the Bullet Club now?
Yeah, something like that.
Oh, that's pretty sick. I'm down with the Bullet Club. That's actually where Prince Devitt, a.k.a. Finn Balor, in NXT, Balor or whatever, he was the original leader of the Bullet Club. Before AJ.
Yeah, and I think Jared's got something going on with him.
It's an NJPW clique, New Japan.
Right.
And he does.
Jared.
Global Force has something going on with Wrestle One too, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, so he would still have some ties to TNA, probably, obviously.
That's pretty sick that they did that. I gotta have to watch Bound for Glory if I can find it.
Yeah.
I just want to see, the Japan Strong style. I'm a fan of that, so.
Yeah, they had a lot of Japanese guys won, and Samoa Joe won. I know that.
So he retains, but he's gonna end up losing the title.
They said that he may have a title run. They said it was the best match out of the whole.
But they already taped the segment where he gives up the belt, remember? And Loki takes it, and that's coming up.
And they're thinking that
he could regain it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, regain it.
If they can re-sign him and get Punk in there, man, they could have some hellacious matches with Samoa Joe. Man, there's several good matches you could see.
Oh, yeah.
With Punk.
I know Great Muta wrestled. I think they won. He had I'm trying to think who his tag team partner was.
Sonata,
I'm
right?
real familiar with a lot of the Japanese. Some of them, but mainly the bigger ones.
I understand exactly what I'm thinking. I don't know many of, like I said last show, I couldn't really tell you who was facing most of the guys from Wrestle One because I really didn't know them. I know Muta, obviously, from back when Gary Hart managed him in NWA.
Right.
I've known him forever, so obviously we're going to know him. He's like a superstar status over there. Obviously, I know Antonio Inoki. Come on.
Yeah, so, I think with this deal, I think they're going to end up, I'll have to do some more research on those wrestlers and stuff because, obviously maybe some of them show up if TNA does get a deal, show up. So I
Well, we're going to have to get a TV deal signed and seen in January.
That's what I'm saying. Hopefully, yeah, if Punk does that,
That'd be huge for him. Yeah, it would be. Did you see that former WWE star John Morrison is now working Lucha Underground as Johnny Mundo?
No,
he's made his wrestling return with Lucha Underground, which is the same company that Mysterio featured backstage, which could have been against WWE policy. And WWE is not happy with Mysterio appearing backstage, I've heard reportedly. So we're going to see what happens with that whole deal.
Yeah.
Also, Alberto Del Rio is to wrestle at the Great Muta 30th anniversary show for Wrestle One. So while we're on the Great Muta deal. So Del Rio just wrestling everywhere.
Yeah. I haven't seen Great Muta lately.
It's his 30th anniversary show in honor of the Great Muta.
Yeah.
Muta runs Wrestle One, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I've always liked Great Muta.
So have I. Remember Kabuki? The Great Kabuki?
Oh, yeah. He was good.
Yeah, he was kind of like Great. I think they said Great Muta was the son of him at the beginning or something like that, but he really wasn't.
Right.
They had similar gimmicks with the mist and stuff. I think Kabuki's the first one to use the mist. I may be wrong.
I'm not sure.
He had the face paint and all that. Kabuki did.
Kabuki.
Some other notes. I'm trying to see if I got anything that I've left off.
Oh, I know Ethan Carter won.
Okay.
His match.
Okay. Yeah. Did you have any more on Bound for Glory other than that?
MVP won against Kazuma Sakamoto.
I know Sakamoto.
Yeah, I've heard of him.
Doesn't he do MMA?
I have to look.
A lot of them do.
Yeah. That triple threat match was good.
Oh, I had a note down here. The directors of the See No Evil 2, Jen and Sylvia Saska, the twins, they want to make a movie about the Wyatt family.
Really?
That'd be interesting.
That would be pretty cool.
I think they put something up on their Twitter or something, like, who would like to see this? We'd love to make a movie about them. I don't know any other feedback other than that. Potential match for Lesnar at the Rumble, if he does wrestle, is Cena. Lesnar Cena 3. I'm kind of sick of them two. Yeah, I'm kind of sick of seeing them two fight, but it'd be the rubber match or whatever, right?
Right.
Did Cena lost one match, right? Or Lesnar's lost one and Cena's lost one, right?
Yep.
So that'd be the rubber match. So it makes sense.
Well, Cena's lost two. Well, that last one was interference, but Cena won that way back Extreme Rules.
Are they not counting that now or something? Or
I don't know. It's like they just forgot about that one.
He won via DQ though, didn't he?
No,
that last
he
one.
won the steps. Oh, well, yeah, Lesnar won by DQ on the last one.
Okay. Well, this is gonna be Lesnar
Cena.
No. It was Cena that won, I'm thinking, but I don't know. I have to look it up.
Yeah. Well, no, Lesnar won because he retained. No, Cena won. I don't know.
You still retained by DQ though, so.
Right. So he kept the belt.
Right. Did you know that Bram in TNA? You know him?
Who?
We've talked about him. Bram, Bram. I think he runs around with James Storm. He's married to Charlotte in NXT, Flair's daughter. So you got
okay, yeah, I know you're talking.
You got a
about
TNA and an NXT person married?
Yeah, I heard the Velvet Sky match was terrible. They had the whole deal with Team 3D and the Hall of Fame TNA. It was after the match, Tommy Dreamer and Abyss versus them.
Oh, okay. How would that match go? They said.
They said it was a good match.
Okay. I have one more thing if you're done.
Yeah, I'm done.
Madusa, that we talked about last week. She apparently made a good career being a monster truck driver after wrestling. And during a recording for Monster Jam, some kind of freestyle deal, she got hurt. And I remember last week I was going to play the clip about her talking about dropping the belt in the garbage at WCW. to finish the show out like we did with Angle last week, and I'm going to come up with something every week to try to play for people. Not sure what I'm going to do next week yet. We're going to have to talk about that, but this week I got the Madusa talk. I don't know if you'll be able to really hear it, Jeff, but I'll amplify it for the show for you to hear later. So, you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
All right, let's do it.
When I left, Bischoff was smart on the game. He was in his game. He called and said, "Deuce, how would you like to come back to work? You're still a ladies champion, right?" And I said, "Yeah." "Yes, I am." I go, "Why?" He goes, "I got an idea." So we talked about his, another contract and what we were going to do. And then he goes, "I want you to come in first night on Monday Night Nitro. Come in live. You bring that ladies title for the WWF and you drop it in the trash can." I thought, "Oh, I'm in trouble."
I just wanted to get that in there. It was just her take on what happened. It kind of sounds like she thought that, like, it sounds to me like Bischoff made her do the whole thing, so.
Yeah, she did. On the network, I was watching that thing, and Bischoff made her do it.
I just thought it was an interesting little clip to play at the end.
Yeah, she didn't want to really do it, but Bischoff said to go ahead and do it.
I thought it was funny that she thought, "Oh, I'm in trouble."
Yeah.
So.
Probably she get sued or something.
Right. Well, if you have nothing else left to say, I think that that's going to end it for episode 4 of the Brawl for All Pro Wrestling Show. Jeff Jaros signing off once again, along with Jeff Crow.
A little shorter tonight, but we didn't have a lot to go over, but we will here in the next couple of weeks.
I really don't like it going too long, but we try to keep it at least within an hour and 20 minutes.
Alright.
Yeah, this one's a little shorter than usual because there just wasn't much to talk about this week.
Like I said, next few weeks we should have plenty to talk about.
But everybody who listened, I want to thank you. Comment down in the section below with any questions that you have for us or comments that you want to make about the show. Subscribe. I'm going to sign off saying peace out. Till next week. Jeff?
Yep.